Hey folks, welcome back. Today we are going to make a big oversized hooded cardigan because it's fall almost and eventually it'll get colder than it is right now. So we're going to need to be prepared. And in order to get that done, we're going to need a few things. First and foremost, we're going to need some fabric. I am going to be using this massive amount of camo jersey knit that I found for like $4. I'm not typically a camo type person, but it was $4 and there's a lot of it. So that's what I'm going to use. I would recommend any sort of jersey knit for this. You could probably even use a jersey like sheet. They're pretty big right now with all the kids going back to college. Just pick something that's stretchy. And you're also going to need a pattern to work from for this. I am going to be using my pattern that I use for almost every shirt that I have ever done ever. Also my jackets and my button-ups. I use the same pattern for everything. And while I don't remember what the name of this pattern was, I will put it on the screen. It is from Mood. It is a sweatshirt hoodie pattern. It's got a nice blocky body. The shoulders fit me really well, and it comes with a hood and it comes with the pocket. So that's what we're using today to make this cardigan. I think it's going to be a fairly easy make. I'm hoping that I'm right. So let me show you what we're going to do. So in this pattern, I have a hoodie pocket, and I'm not sure if I'm going to use this or not, but we will find out. I have my sleeve pattern. I have the front of the shirt part, and I have the back of the shirt part right here. The back part is cut on a fold, and then the front part will be two separate pieces. And then I have a hood. So those are all the pattern pieces I need for this. I always start with the back pattern piece. I don't know why. I just like cutting that one first. Hi, you can't even see me. So I have the back pattern piece set on the fold. What I've done is actually extended the length so that this hits just below my butt because I want it to be longer. And I also use this for longer jackets as well. So that's why I've extended it down a little bit more. And actually for this cardigan, I'm probably even going to go down a few more inches because I'm thinking of actually rounding the back hem for a little more drama. Now, I don't know why, but for the longest time, I was really intimidated to work with jersey or any sort of stretch fabric. I don't know why it has changed, but it's really not that difficult to work with. And I think some people would even argue that it's easier to work with than knit, which I can kind of understand. Also, I have no idea if this fabric is actually cotton or if it's a poly blend. I haven't even checked, but I don't really care right now. All right, let's cut out the other pieces and we'll talk about putting it all together. Now you see that I extended the front of this about an inch, and that's just so that I have some space to hem it because I don't just want a raw edge just hanging out there. We're gonna make this look professional-ish. I also like to make my hoods just a little bit more oversized than the pattern calls for because I think it provides some drama. It means that I can fit my hair in it when my hair's in a ponytail or in a bun. I keep this measurement the same and then just expand, and it seems to work pretty well. Okay, here's a quick review of our pattern pieces. We have two hoods, so this is going to become one hood, two pieces. We have two sleeves. I have two pockets. So this is just half of a hoodie pocket, and it'll go one on each side. Then we have the front sections. So this is going to be the left and right side of the front. And then we have the back panel, which was cut on the fold. The last thing that wasn't in our pattern pieces, but just that I've kind of learned over making this a couple times, is you want to make cuffs as well to go on your sleeves. So what I did was cut just two rectangles. They're face to face right now because I'm going to sew them together. They stretch a lot that way. When you make the cuffs, be really intentional about how you cut them because if I twist it 90 degrees, it doesn't stretch nearly as much. So you want the stretch to go this way, which will wrap around your wrist and become a cuff. Let's attach the front panels to the back panel, and you could do this in one of two ways. you could just use your plain old sewing machine. Let me show you what you would need, or what you should use if you're going to use your plain old machine. You would need one of these guys. It's just a twin needle that goes right in where your normal needle does. And then you would have 2 spools of thread at the top. You would thread them together through the twin needles. My machine actually has a twin needle setting, so most modern domestic machines do, and that will handle your knits just a little bit better and still allow it to stretch. Spoiler, I've used regular needles on knits. It was fine. I don't know if it has the same longevity as using one of these guys, but you could probably just use a single needle, and who cares? The second option is that you could use a serger, which is what I'm going to use today. I just have found that it kind of takes the guesswork out of working with knits. It's not necessary, but I like it a lot better. So let's serge everything together. When you are picking your fabric, you may also want to check the inside. I'm not super thrilled it's white on the inside. I wish it was the same color in and out, but I'm not gonna line it because that would be ridiculous. So just maybe think about that when you pick your knit fabric, or use whatever you got because it's your project. You do with it whatever you want to. I think I'm just gonna have to talk over the lawnmower. So you may be wondering, do you actually need a serger? Now, need and want are 2 different things. Do you need one? No. Do you want one? Pros and cons. Pro, you get really nice looking stitching, especially on things like pants and jersey knit. It's kind of a one-stop shop. I really like that it cleans up all the edges and it prevents a lot of fraying, because I hate doing French seams and I hate flat felling seams sometimes. Don't like it because I want to get things done. I don't have the attention span. However, cons. They can be a little finicky sometimes. This is my second one because the first one I think came broken. I'm not sure if I broke it, but I think it came broken. It only lasted me like a week and then I had to send it back. Second, and this is probably my biggest con for them, the little tails that you cut off of these things, these guys, they freak me out because they look a lot like these things. And I hate those things. I don't mind most bugs, but those things creep me out. Yeah, I think you can see the similarity. But it's another machine and they are kind of expensive. So it doesn't fully replace my sewing machine, but they are pretty dang convenient. I'm gonna get all this stuff serged together. I'll talk to you about the cuffs a little bit more, and then we'll talk about how to finish it, because the finishing is what's gonna make this dramatic. This is where we're at so far. Let's talk about cuffs. So I have 2 soon-to-be cuffs, and not only do you need to pay attention to the stretch factor, but you also need to make sure that it goes around your big old meat paws with some space to spare. But you also don't want it to be so big that the weight of the sleeve just drops it off of your hand, because if these sleeves are just a hair too long, you're going to end up having to push your sleeves up all day long, and that's really annoying. So I'm gonna cut these down just a little bit more maybe, because if I fold them in half like this and then I pin them up, so this space right here is where my hand would go, that works fairly well. It may not be super great, but it does work fairly well. So I'm gonna probably mark right here and right here, and then make sure that the stretch can still accommodate the width of the bottom of the sleeve. And I'm doing all of this before I sew the sleeve up because I think it's a little bit easier than trying to put this on an already round garment. So let's see if that works. Ta freaking da! Who has cuffs? Me! Before I sew these up and put them on the actual body, what I am gonna do is take it to my regular machine, and I'm actually going to top stitch this part down, because I know that that is something that sensory overload me will probably get real irritated with if I'm constantly having to fidget with this thing. So I'm just going to top stitch it down, and then I'll do that for the sleeves. I think I'll also do that for the hood, just because I think it'll look neater. And then I'm going to get everything sewn onto the body. I have not forgotten about the pockets though. Those are never my top priority. They should be, but they're not. I'll put them on in a minute. I got the little flappies sewn down, and look at how professional that looks. You can fake your way to anything. Look at that. It's not a flappy anymore. Looks like I meant for it to happen. The next big question is where the hood went, because it was on my head. Now I don't know where it is. Crap. And I put it next to my sewing machine. But it was camouflage, so I couldn't see it. That must have been what it was. Stupidest joke. What do you think? Cuffs? I'm not a super fan of this. I probably should have just used like one long piece, but I didn't. So that's fine. Let's talk about the hem, because I had said I kind of want to do a rounded hem on the back. So let's see if we can figure that part out. Maybe. Pockets are on. We are almost finished, but let me show you how to finish the edge of this in a way that looks kind of professional. Intermediate advanced, how's that? And this is one of those things where if you have a serger, it's probably going to be a little bit easier. I think you can do this with a domestic machine, but a serger is just going to make it look crisp. So I have the edge of my front here. You can see, got my pocket. And you're going to basically create a Z fold. So I'm going to maybe fold it back 2 inches. I don't know, something like that. And then I'm going to bring the raw edge up to the fold, like that. And then I'll pin it there, and I will continue this all the way around to the hood, and then all the way down the other side. And then you run your serger right along here so that it seals these together. It trims up the edge there, and you get a nice clean finish, because then you just would fold this out and it would kind of look something like that. So I'm going to pin it up, run it through the serger, and I'll show you what the end product looks like. All right, check this out. This would be the bottom edge. And then here is the front. So just like with the sleeves, I'm going to come in and stitch all of these down so that they're not like wagging around. I'll give them a press, and then it will be done. So I'll see you in the reveal. I think they're so cool. I actually liked it so much I made a second one out of just some black jersey that I had, or gray jersey I guess that I had, and I love them. As far as closures go, you could put buttons on this. If you were really skilled, you could put a zipper on it. I'm probably just gonna keep them open mainly because I just don't think that it needs anything. Maybe once I get outside and it starts like whipping in the wind, I might need something, but right now I think just leaving it open is kind of nice. Also, it's really easy. If you're using a shirt pattern that you've used 100 times before, All you really need to do is just extend it so that it's the length that you like, and then cut the front open and add maybe an inch or two so that you can finish it. It's super, super, super simple. So hopefully you like this. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. I would like to thank all of my makers over on Ko-fi. You guys are amazing. If you're interested in joining the maker crew, it is $2 a month, and you get first dibs at whatever found fabrics and sewing supplies I pick up before the public does. So you can head over there. You also get your name on the screen and my eternal gratitude for supporting me and all of the shenanigans we do over here. Don't forget to subscribe and stick around because we will have other nice, easy, but pretty cool things coming up. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye! I feel like this whole video was such a mess. So I apologize if it didn't make any sense. I tried, sort of. And by tried, I threw it together at the last second. Anyway, okay, bye.